Okay, let's try to solve this non-linear systems of linear equations. So here, first of all, right, I'm pretty sure that you don't like fractions. So what I would do is first multiply by the LCD, least common denominator. So in this case, that will be x squared y squared. So that way you can get rid of that fraction. So this is what I'm talking about. So from, actually, you know what? Let me move that 4 over first. So let me do this step by step. So you got a 8 over x squared minus 3 over y squared equals to negative 4. And then let me just copy down 3 over x squared plus 1 over y squared equals to 7. Now what I'm going to do is multiply here by the LCD, which is x squared y squared, to every single term. So I'm going to do the same thing, x squared y squared. Okay, so now I'm going to distribute to each term. Don't forget to distribute this on the other side of the equation. Okay, and then you're going to cancel what you can. So here, if I multiply x squared y squared 8 over x squared, notice that x squared is going to cancel out. So what you're left with is just the 8y squared. And then next one, notice that if I distribute this, the y squared is going to cancel out. So what we have is 3x squared and then equals to negative 4x squared y squared. And doing the same thing for the bottom equation, we're going to have 3y squared and then what is that, plus x squared equals to 7x squared and then y squared. Okay, so oh look, now I think if I multiply the bottom equation by 3, so here you're going to have a positive 3 and then here you're going to have a negative 3, so we can cancel the x squares out. So I think that's a brilliant idea, so let's do that. So I'm going to multiply this by 3. Okay, so now what do we get? We get 8y squared minus 3x squared equals negative 4x squared y squared. And then here you're going to have a 9y squared and then plus 3x squared equals 21x squared y squared. So now if I add vertically, notice that you can kill this guy. So now what do we have left? We have 17y squared equals to, what is that, 17x squared y squared. Oh, looking good. So now don't you dare divide it by 17 times y squared because y can be 0 and then you cannot divide it by 0. So what you need to do is bring the 17x squared y squared on this side and then setting the right hand side equal to 0. So this implies that we're going to have 17y squared minus the 17x squared y squared equals to 0. Now notice that I can factor out 17y squared. So here you're going to have 1 minus just the x squared equals to 0. Okay, so that means that either 17y squared is 0 or 1 minus x squared equals to 0. So that implies that y squared is 0, which means that y is going to be 0. Okay, now on the other one, we're going to have x squared equals to 1. So that implies that our x is going to be plus or minus the square root of 1, so which is going to be just plus or minus 1. So let me just box that. Now notice that, okay, so we have these two solutions right now, right? But think about it. If y equals to 0, what's going to happen here? If I plug the y in the original equation, you're going to have a 3 over 0. Remember, if you have a 0 on the bottom of the fraction bar, then this whole thing becomes undefined. So here, you're going to have to throw that 0 out. Okay, so you're going to say adios. All right, so that means that our only choice is x equals to plus or minus 1. So now all we have to do is find the corresponding y value when x is 1 and then x is negative 1. Okay, so here I just recopy the equations and then x equals plus or minus 1. So what we're going to do is we're going to we're going to find the corresponding y value. So here, let me just go like this, when x equals to positive 1. Okay, now you can plug x equals to 1 into either one of the equations. So pick the cuter one. Which one looks cuter to you? Well, to me, maybe the second equation looks a little bit cuter than the first one. I don't know why. But anyways, let me just take the first equation, which is, second equation, and then we're gonna have 3 over x squared. I'll write everything out. 1 over y squared equals to 7, but when x equals to 1, then you're gonna have 3 over 1 squared plus the 1 over y squared equals to 7. So you're gonna have 3 plus 1 over y squared equals to 7. So subtracting 3, then what do we get? We're going to have 1 over y squared equals to, what is that, 4? Now multiplying by y squared on both sides, then what we're going to get is, 1 equals 4y squared. So that implies that our y squared is going to be 1/4. So here what we're going to get is y equals to plus or minus the square root of 1/4, which is going to be plus or minus the square root of, not square root, I'm sorry. Here you're going to have plus or minus 1 over 2. Okay, so guess what? We have, when x is 1, our y value is going to be 1/2. And then when x is 1, your y value is going to be negative 1/2. So here is some of the solutions. Now we have to do the same thing for x equals to negative 1. Okay, so I'm going to plug that into the second original equation again. So you're going to have 3 over, you're going to have negative 1 squared plus the 1 over y squared equals to 7. So that implies that you're going to have negative 1 whole quantity squared gives you positive 3. So we're going to get the same answer here. So you're going to have 3 plus 1 over y squared equals to 7. So that means that 1 over y squared is 4. So it's exactly the same thing as what we got here, right? So, but then, you know me, I don't want to skip any steps. So multiplying by y squared, then here, let me just go over here, you're going to have 1 equals 4y squared. So again, you're going to have y squared equals to 1/4. So y is going to be plus or minus 1/2. So what we're going to get is negative 1 comma 1/2, and then also negative 1 and then negative 1/2. So we should have all 4 solutions here, and that should be our answer.